Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is another devlog, but this time I have participated in a game jam. Uh, Most of you probably know what a game jam is, but I'll explain. It's a sort of event online where people make games on a certain theme in a limited time. Usually it's on a certain theme, but it's always on a limited time. And then some of the game jams you rate the games. There's some competition. It's always good fun to see other people doing their work in a short amount of time. So this game jam, it was Krassjam, it's called. It's a game jam hosted by Krassjam14, which is a Twitch streamer and a game developer. And he has an interesting idea for his game jam. It's a game jam where instead of just providing everybody with the theme, you generate the theme based on your username and the name of the jam. So when you use that as a seed and generate a theme, so everybody gets a different theme. Then you work on it. So that was good fun to work on that. And the theme that I got on my game was a game where you kick zombie ghosts to the max. Sounds very silly, but I was just thinking about the theme, and just the first thing that came to my mind is if you guys remember those old Flash games where you would have a character and you would choose the angle and the strength, and then you would shoot them to the farthest that you can possibly do. So I had that idea because yeah, like kick to the max. That's like the first thing that came to my mind. So I'll load this up. Yeah. So the way this works and what the game that I have is uh, you have this arrow going rotating like that on 90 degrees. You click or press any key, doesn't matter. Then it switches to power mode, and then you choose the power, and then you can kick. And the idea is every time you get points, and then you can use those points to get more stuff, more upgrades. Like for example, here I increased my power and accuracy, which accuracy makes this arrow move slower, so it's easier to aim. And more power, yeah. Then you get more and more. Now I can get even more power. This is the idea. Boom, boom, boom. So the way that I set this up, let's go to my scripts so I can maybe show a little bit how I did that. So with the launcher, I know this is a misspell, but whatever. English doesn't make sense. So I have an enumeration, which is states for each one of the states. So idle, aim, charge, and well, you know what I mean here by lunch. Yeah, of course, like you're eating lunch, yes. Um, okay, and I have a serialized field. You probably know those things. It means that I can do that from the editor to change the values. So I have this value which oscillates based on the sine function. If you learned some trigonometry at school, you know what sine is, and the time. And whenever I press something, it does this log. And I have here the switch for, well, only two cases here, but yeah, I just use this switch because maybe I would need the others. So yeah, if you're on aim, then you gonna keep that angle, and if you're on charge, then that's the strength, and you shoot. So that's the way that this works. Just this launcher value oscillates, and that's what gives the L, the variating strength. And the ball, which by ball is referring to this. So I made here the property for the distance and height, so I can uh, use those later on, which are just the difference. Uh-huh. Yeah, I have a bunch of things that are like more advanced stuff, but this for the bouncing. So I could have just used the bouncy material with in the that Unity provides, but it's a little bit ambiguous what the bounciness actually means, because bounciness 0, I think it doesn't mean that it doesn't bounce at all. So it's not exactly what you would expect. So the way that I made this is I kind of calculated you can get the normal by the distance, the normal, and then I got like the other vector that's orthogonal to it. And then just I do the bounce velocity is just you know how it should go paint paint. So like I have a plane, and then I have an arrow going like this. This is like the velocity when you hit the surface, and then the other one. So yeah. So if you have this line here, then this angle, it should be the same as this one. So that's why the calculation. So even if the surface is tilted, I know what to do. Yeah, and I'm just multiplying by the ratio, which I decide for this surface. So if it is 0, then actually the velocity is gonna be 0. You're gonna just stop. So, and if it's 1, then you just go ahead. You lose absolutely no momentum. So that's very clear now. Yeah, this is just for in the case that I need like bounciness on different surfaces, but I didn't end up using it. Yeah, so this is how the bounciness works. And you probably saw that probably saw, I can increase the bounciness. This is one of the things that I can do. Now I have different upgrades that I can do. This I only added afterwards, actually. What I had for the jam itself, not before, is the boom ping. Well, I changed also the way it works. Yeah, so it gives you a little more boost. What do we can increase the boost that it gives. Let's do more power and more bounciness. This saves the progress. So Mr. Boom, I call lesson code. Pretty silly, but okay. Just getting the velocity and I'm adding the power to both coordinates. So you bounce higher and also farther from hitting Mr. Boom. Yeah, before it was like just colliding with it and it wasn't so great. Didn't do what I expect, yeah. Afterwards, I add the coins, which as you saw earlier, it gave me +5. I can use this to increase the value of the coins. Whoa, +40, okay. It's kind of like those idle games, but you're doing a little bit more than just idle, and you're getting more and more points each time. You're going farther and farther. Yeah, so this is the idea. And anything else? Another thing maybe I wanna share with you, just something that happened to me today with Unity, and maybe it happened to you, and this little trick can help you. So I tried to update Unity and then use this in the newer version of Unity, and then it didn't exactly work for me. So I wanted to uh, revert it to the previous version, and when I did, there was like something that insisted that something was wrong and it didn't work for me, and I didn't know how to revert it. So what I just did right now, like this only happened to me today when I wanted to do the video. So what I did actually is I had this zombie kickoff, it's called. So I have this assets folder. So I just copy this and put it somewhere. And then I created a new project with the older version of Unity, which I wanted, and just moved the asset folder here. And he asked me if I want to replace the existing one because it has the same name, and I said yes. And then I opened the project again, and this just worked with all the values and stuff. We didn't expect it to also remember all of those things. Were probably some meta files. So that's good news. Okay, if you're like getting this kind of problem, maybe you can use this trick. Just copy the asset folder from the project that is kind of messed up, and just make a new one and paste the assets. Okay, so that's all for now, I think. Uh, I'll leave in the description the link to the game, and you can try it out. and tell me what you think if you have any suggestions. Yeah, so see ya and thanks for watching.